Hi everyone, Peter Noakes, Senior Responsible Officer for New Ways of Working here. Obviously with the times we find ourselves in, it's more and more important that staff can do their roles regardless of where they're located, whether it's at work, at home or anywhere in between. So today we're in my house and we're going to do a short video on how you can set up your home to be as ergonomically safe as possible if you find yourself working from home for extended periods of time. Obviously I wasn't expecting you today, so please forgive me. I'll just go and get changed into something a little bit more appropriate and we'll get started. So, if you find yourself working from home for extended periods of time, you may want to avoid some of the more ad hoc places you currently work from if you're jumping on for 5 to 10 minutes. In fact, you may want to find somewhere in your home where you can set yourself up to work for longer periods and make some ergonomic adjustments so that you're as comfortable and safe as possible. The important thing to remember is regardless of where you choose to work from, there are some ergonomic basics you need to remember. The first one is the chair. With your chair, what you want is to make sure that you've got a well-supported back and your feet are flat on the ground or supported by a footrest. You also want to try and have your thighs parallel to the ground and your knees above your ankles at a 90-degree angle. You can make some minor adjustments to ensure that's the case. If it's not quite right, a book is an excellent way to make adjustments to the angles you're working at while still having a firm footing. Second to this, you also want to ensure that your arms are parallel to the ground and there's no strain on your wrists. And just like before, if you find the angle's not quite working and you're feeling strain in your arm, try to make adjustments to the angle with something very firm and stable. It could be a cushion, a firm cushion, or it could be a book like I'm doing. The important thing to do when you're working from home is listen to your body. You'll know whether something's uncomfortable or not. If you feel anything out of kilter, make an adjustment to try and resolve it. And if you get pains or anything, stop doing what you're doing immediately and maybe seek advice if it happens on the longer term. The important thing is listen to your body and use some of the ergonomic basics that we'll publish to the intranet, and we'll have a link down below. So this is one of those ad hoc work settings we probably find ourselves in currently when we're working from home for shorter periods. So that 5 to 10 minute jump on the laptop, take care of some work emails before heading to work in the morning. This isn't ideal for longer periods of time, and for that reason we do really recommend that you find somewhere that you can set up to be a little bit more ergonomically correct. But what the bench is good for is short periods of standing to mix it up, because moving about your workspace, whether it's at home or in the workplace, is highly beneficial for everybody. So in doing that, you just want to remember some of the same principles as we were talking about before. And the main one is arm angles. So for my bench, the angles aren't very ergonomically sound. In fact, I can feel the tension already. So what we want to try and do is, again, use some of the books that we might have lying around the house or anything else that offers a stable platform, and just prop the laptop up to restore the angle. When you're standing, 90 degrees can make people hunch, so it's much better off if you can relax and drop them to the 100-degree angle. Again, we'll be publishing some information to help you find this. And the second part of it is make sure that you don't hunch your neck, that you remain upright. Again, for short periods, to mix it up from sitting and going back and forth is a really good thing to do throughout the day. And again, listen to your body. You'll know whether it's feeling right, and you'll know too when it's time to change from a sitting position to a standing position. So if you're lucky enough to have a home study, this is obviously a great work setting to get you away from all the distractions of the household. But it may have some adjustments that you need to make, because typically a home desk doesn't have a height adjustment like the one in the workplace, and you may not have an office chair that offers the same adjustment either. So all of those adjustments we made for the kitchen table apply equally as much in a home office environment if you're finding those ergonomic basics aren't achievable without some assistance with some books, some cushions, or any other tweaks that we've already talked about. The important thing to remember is if you are working at a workstation with a laptop keyboard, keep everything in close distance, and as much as possible, and this is something that laptop keyboards really help with, is have your hands in front of your shoulders. Some of you may have one of these ergonomic keyboards at work. If you do, have a chat with your manager around whether or not a provision could be made for you to take this home if you're going to find yourself at home for extended periods of time. So it's really important to remember that The only real right or wrong with any of this is making sure you achieve the right angles and positioning for that ergonomic foundation. Straight posture, supported back, arms at the right angles, knees over ankles. And so you can think outside the square around how you achieve that in your home. Obviously, this is an ironing board and this is an iron, but with a few minor adjustments of prop, it becomes a height adjustable workstation. And so what this will allow me to do is achieve the right angles without the need for the books to prop up my chair or my feet. So again, just have a think about how you can be most comfortable and how you can be most comfortable for extended periods of time. And the good thing is you're in your home, so no one's going to see how silly you look.